So that's the pattern. How do you transfer that onto
My colored paper and my little wheel.
Okay.
And you put the colored paper underneath it.
Oh, and you trace it with the wheel on top.
And you trace it with the wheel on top.
I see, yeah. Alright, so there's the pattern.
Okay, there's our pattern. Here's the top layer that we're going to use.
Oh, that's good. So you stitch all this to that foam first, and then you pull it over and attach it to the seat.
Yep.
Okay. Good. All right. So here's the stitched leather piece, and here's the original foam seat. Just gonna set it on to kind of place it. See how. Oh yeah, how the stitching's gonna look. All right, I think that's about as good as it gets because the seat is 40 years old, and the more you pull the leather, the more this flexes. But it looks pretty tight everywhere else, and I think it's going to look great on the bike just like that. So, excellent. Yeah, done.
It does. It looks nice.
All right, so right here I have a piece of 01 tool steel. It's 14 millimeters. I center drilled the ends already and cut it to length. And I'm going to throw this in the lathe and thread about 2 1/4 inches at each end to a M14 by 1.5 thread, which is what this nut is. I'll use this to test fit. And I got 2 of these, 1 for each side for the finished axle. So we'll take this over to the lathe, get it threaded up, and see you then.
Start the spindle. Turn the coolant on. Okay, so it's going right now. Here we go.
Alright, so I just finished the thread. Looks really good. And I'm going to take the nut, test fit. Oh, look at that. First try, right on. Woo! Look at that. That's beautiful. Alright, one side down, one to go. Alright, got the second side threaded, and just like the first, it spins on beautiful. Thread feels really good. I'm real happy with that. So take this out of the chuck now, and we got a finished axle shaft.
Don't be surprised at the bottom line. There's less than a big box full.
Look at that. Sweet. Rear axle done.
There we go.
Awesome. Okay, so here's the axle shaft that I machined the other day. And I've got some chain adjusters here. These are genuine Honda parts. These will slip over the axle, and I'll put that through the swing arm, and then we'll be able to tension the chain with these through the swing arm, so can draw it back in that. So, all right, I got the swing arm laid out over here on top of my bucket. So the axle shaft, of course, will slide through here and through the rim to the other side. Slip it over the axle and in that little groove in the back. Then you can throw your washer on, and I still have to get some lock washers as well for the axle, but basically they'll sit pretty much like that. And this one will sit in over here. Line it up with the little groove. Throw the washer on in the back, and the lock washer, which I don't have, and then the hex nut. All right, so once that's in place and this is snugged up, as you know, again, if you need to tension the chain, you can just do that by tightening these nuts on the chain adjuster, which draws the axle back. There. All right, guys, I just bolted up this 2013 stainless steel header pipe from a Honda CRF 230 onto my motor, and I just can't believe this. Look at this. This thing bolted right up, a direct fit to my 1980 Honda ATC 185 motor. And I bought this figuring I'd have to modify it and knowing that I could, but it was going to be at least close to the shape that I needed for this motor. And I just can't believe it. I mean, It bolted up. The header flange didn't need any modifications. The header pipe was exact same diameter, and the shape that just wraps around the engine and inside the frame rails and just gives you, you know, perfect clearances everywhere and brings the exhaust right where I need it for the tail section pipe to come up and to position the muffler here in the back. I'm stoked. It couldn't be any better. I mean, I was going to use, as you know, the original pipe that I reconditioned for this motor, but when I found this complete stainless steel exhaust system, I had to give it a shot, and I'm really glad I did. I don't know about you, but I think that's amazing, so I'm psyched. Alright, so here's the additional pieces for the exhaust. I've got the tailpipe here, and the muffler. Muffler is aluminum. It's painted like a titanium color, which is really nice, and I love the orange accent here in the back because it ties in with all the orange accessories of the rest of the bike. So I'm going to go ahead and test fit this right now and see where it all ends up and if I'll have to modify anything. So stick this in here and see what we got. This is looking sweet. It comes out right next to the frame. Oh, this is unbelievable. Look at that. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? 2013 CRF 230 exhaust on a 1980 ATC 185 frame, and it fits and clears everything like it was made for it and puts the exhaust exactly where it needs to be. That is absolutely ridiculous. One thing I see that I might want to change, this muffler has a hanging bracket up top here, and my frame is much lower than the dirt bike frame, so I think I'd prefer to have that on the bottom. I'm thinking, because then I could tie in a bracket off the frame here to there. It just kind of makes the tip angle up, which actually it looks like, yeah, it looks like I could just unbolt the tip here and probably spin that around so it angles the proper way and put this bracket at the bottom side, so that should be easy. And that doesn't even look like it'll maybe have to drill and tap some holes, but I mean, it doesn't look like it's going to take very much to do that, but I think that would be ideal. So unbelievable. That is so cool. I love it. Let's get a closer look. Yeah, so we'll flip that over and have it angled down, but look at that. Unbelievable. Actually, I am just about to take this brace out of here anyway, because it's going to be in the way of where my swing arm is going to mount. So even though this is close, it would have worked regardless, but that's going to be gone too, so it's going to be absolutely perfect. And then look how close and how nice it comes up along the side of the frame. That is absolutely ideal. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. 33 years difference from one bike to the other, a three-wheeler to a dirt bike, and the exhaust looks like it was absolutely designed for my project. I don't usually get that lucky. I don't know about you, but that's awesome. I gotta show you one more thing, just one more clearance that's amazing. If you look down here, this header pipe, it even just clears by like a 1/4 inch the engine mounting bolt at the back side of the engine. I mean, it's unreal. Absolutely unreal. So cool. If I had to custom build a pipe, it would be exactly what I've got right there. There are absolutely no changes necessary. So cool. make it. I don't want to stretch the frame because the engine mount in the rear is here. So I think what I'll have to do is clearance the sides of the swing arm in here, cut out a little piece, bring it back so that it all clears inside the rails. That's what we're gonna do. All right, now I've got this piece clearanced out. I'll turn it over and I'll mark this side the same, cut this piece out. Yeah, there it is. Beautiful. That clearance is sweet. That's what we want. Alright, so here's one of the foot pegs off of the ATC. It has a nice rigid mount under the engine here, and it normally would sit just like that with a big, long, rigid foot peg, because obviously with ATCs being a three-wheeler, you're not going around corners and you're not going to hit the ground with your peg. But being that I've converted this to a two-wheeler, I obviously need a spring-loaded foot peg like a dirt bike. So I've gone ahead and just chopped off the rigid foot peg, and I made this little bracket that I've welded on. It's welded very sturdy all the way around. So now I've set this down when I welded it and aligned my new aluminum foot peg so that I could just slide this in like that, and then I can drop the mounting pin down through the middle. There we go. All right, and it's nice and level. So now I can mount this and it kicks up in the direction I need to for one side of the bike, and here's the other that's already assembled, which goes in the opposite direction. Alright, so this is the one we need for this side, and it just sits in right in there over the frame like that and gets screwed down in place right there. And you can see here now I have a peg that'll kick up if I were to hit the ground going around the corner. Obviously I haven't installed the spring yet, but you can see that it sits nice and level. The other side, I've already measured everything, and the peg sits in a nice position where my foot position will be perfect for being able to get my foot up under the shift lever on the opposite side. So, real happy with that.